Maybe I'll show this external scene. Got some beautiful heavy rain in Spain, and we are in the plane. It's now. I'm completely unaware of what time of day it is. I think it looks like it's the evening. Well, I know it's the evening. I've no idea exactly what time it is, and I'm exploring and every time I do that, it's because of breathing. Because I struggle with my breath due to my birth and the trauma of that, but that's another story. And I am feeling very grateful for a few things. One is that this has been the first week in many weeks that I have completed what I set out to do regarding my book with the Gréyahm Øf Now. I've also built a website with Claude Code and Obsidian. I'm using Obsidian and Claude Code. That I was helped to set that up. Really works really well. And I have also played around with Substack a bit. How am I going to use it? Lots of research, lots of just refining things, and a lot of the core like strength and the centering comes from choosing to stay in this flat and actually learning to love it and opening myself up more to my neighbors. And I've met my neighbor Domingo, who's here, and up there is Claudio, whose wife died recently, bless her, Maria Claudette, I think. He's 78 and has smoked 12 cigarettes a day since he was 12. And he has one beer every Sunday, a quinto, like a quinto, the small one, fifth. And he's very proud of that. So we have chats occasionally. He meditates by doing his brushing. And then Domingo's also retired, and he worked in a factory for 48 years. I can't imagine doing anything for 48 days. 48 years. It blows my mind. So I'm interested in how I connect with him. He's invited me for a beer next door. So that's neighbor here, neighbor there, and slowly see if I start to build things and what emerges from that. What do people want to gather and talk about? And then I've got a whole list of local and not so local, maybe Barcelona and Catalonia, organizations that are interested in resilience, food sovereignty, federation, cooperatives, housing cooperatives. I really want to research that, interview them, talk to them, learn from them, interview them in Catalan and English maybe, or Spanish, and then just building this community profile, really working on it, interviewing Maria, who's Ukrainian, and her husband Joachim about their food and their challenges with the food business and restaurants, and then maybe going around and saying, what do you see as the future of your work and your business, and what the challenges, and how do we support each other in the future, because we're going to have those problems. And then really understanding local energy supply, where the water comes from, the quality of the water, food supply chains, waste, all that stuff, local suppliers of local food, getting networks up. Where is it already there? How do I promote that? How do I connect with that? And really, I know that one of my talents and key resources that they want to hear is English language, but I am not spending 20 hours a week doing one-to-one English. So I'm wondering if there's a way if I can do something different to support people. But ultimately, that learning English for Spanish people or Catalans is largely about doing business globally and internationally. And I'm much more interested in focusing on local people. So there's going to come a time when I need, and I'm like, need to learn Catalan properly and find the right teacher to really connect with someone like who's patient enough, who's willing to be, who knows how to teach language. So I'm looking for that person, and to do that, it's finding a way to earn my way here and create value for people, especially online, and doing the Gréyahm Øf Now in Barcelona, in Espangalan, Spanish, English, Catalan, Espangalan. And I'm really, really pleased with the way that after 20 years of still holding on to this vision and this dream, I'm shaping it, I'm working with it, I'm shaping myself. I am the game. And I'm really working with the research into history, the history of facilitation processes, the history of gatherings, the history of emergence, group theory, personal development, spiritual development, all the different ideas around consciousness, really keeping up to date and working very intensely with Claude on that, just research. And then seeing what's emerging. Glass bead game, that connects to that. That's a pattern. What's the pattern? What are the patterns that we can just and support each other here? Great. 6 minutes. I think that's long enough for everyone to watch, but I'm also wanting to interview people for the podcast that I want to develop again, because I really enjoy podcasting. I love interviewing people. And I want to make it interesting, and I want to make it useful, and I want to make it practical so that people have a sense that we can together move through the next 3 to 5 years beyond surveillance capitalism, beyond dystopian futures, beyond AI hellscapes, beyond any kind of fascism rising, and that we can find a way to get on with each other. I've just listened to a podcast. I'm rambling now, but I'm enjoying this. I'm getting into a groove here. I've just listened to a podcast about civil war on The Rest is History. There's other podcasts I want to listen to about the Spanish Civil War and learning about the specific ways that civil war and unrest and social unrest and breakdown happens, and how the different factions and the separation and how they label each other and how they demonize each other and dehumanize each other. And so this idea that in the future, as more people adopt different kinds of technology, that they will shun people, say they're Luddites or they're them, they're just stuck in their phones. Plus, what they said in this Civil War podcast was that historically, graduates, like graduates who have got no jobs, like 1968, 69 in Paris, these groups of people, they're young, who've got nothing to do, they're bored, stoned, drugged, whatever, drunk, angry, just create mayhem, create chaos. Happened in China, and I'm in the early forming of the Chinese Communist Party. So looking at these historically, just learning and finding ways not only to think about that and speak about it in English, but speak about this in Catalan and Spanish, and find a way to connect to local people and what actually matters to them, rather than imposing visions on them, which is vision or idea colonialism. I came here not for the sun, not for the cheap coffee or the beer or the more physically attractive people, men and women, but due to the fact that I followed here. I came here because my mentor, so it was to do with ideas. I followed for ideas, and I followed for the steep path up the mountain. I was not content with a boring job, lifestyle, living in Southeast England. It just wasn't fulfilling to me, and I couldn't find the people around me that were helping me grow. So I took the hard path and came here and worked with Chris for another 10 years on and off. Yeah, good practice. Thank you for listening. The Gréyahm Øf Now is starting to move into a different phase. Lots of love to you all.